Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The baby of Spencer and Luna Nozzawa would have been born this month. Although Will Spencer is currently going through a difficult period on The Bold and the Beautiful, his life might potentially be worse. On the CBS soap opera, Dollar Bill Jr. is now mending a wounded heart and pleading with Electra Forrester for forgiveness. He might be raising a child with a serial killer, though. When it comes to pregnancies and baby bumps, The Bold and the Beautiful timelines are usually a little dubious. Luna Nozzawa revealed that she was expecting Will Spencer's child. Luna would have been due in a few weeks, give or take. When Luna drugged Will Spencer Jr. and exploited him, he unintentionally got her pregnant. Will believed he was having an affair with his girlfriend since he was so drunk. Luna said she was expecting his child a few weeks later. Luna Nozzawa was then imprisoned after Electra reported her to the authorities. Viewers of Bold and Beautiful will remember that Will Spencer Jr. was afraid of having a child with Luna. However, he was able to escape the fiasco. Luna broke out of prison on a stormy night and made it to Will's beach house. She informed him that she was incarcerated, had miscarried, and would not be having a child. She dashed into traffic and was slain before Will could verify that she was telling the truth. Rumors of Luna pretending to be dead and fleeing into hiding to conceive Will Spencer's child are constantly circulating. The baby would be here by now if those stories were true. Do you believe Luna Nozzawa is truly gone? Is Will expecting a child somewhere? Sheila's next action, which involves violence and mistakes, will go too far. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful point to some unexpected turns. We can anticipate Sheila Carter planning her next move, for starters. Will Spencer and Eric Forrester may face repercussions in the interim. Let's talk about what is going on before moving on to the weakers. We'll start with Eric's interview, in which he will criticize Logan. The patriarch will claim to the public that Katie Logan Spencer is merely attempting to outdo him. Eric goes on to say that it's theft. Katie and Bill Spencer will probably have to rush to defend themselves as a result. But it also gives Katie a chance to realize how badly she has harmed Eric. Katie's apology in the weekly preview segment might be explained by Eric's emotional breakdown. Will Spencer is up next. Will and Electra Forrester appear to meet in Bikini Bar. Eric and RJ Forrester step in when Will tries to persuade Electra to accompany him home. But things don't always go as planned. For starters, Will is really impolite to Eric and appears to be intoxicated. The young man refers to Eric as an old man and asserts that he is free to do as he pleases. At that point, RJ tries to attack Will after intercepting him. Eric will get in the midst, but I'm afraid he'll be bruised. Sheila will also be impatiently awaiting John Finnegan's response. Steffi Forrester Finnegan will never consent to Sheila being close to her family. Finn, though, thinks his biological mother has evolved. I'm concerned that Finn might make a mistake that he won't be able to undo. Deacon Sharp, meanwhile, will likewise trust in Sheila's salvation. But the episode and the teaser film let us know that Sheila is once more obsessed. According to spoilers for this week's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Sheila will take a risky step to achieve her goals. Will Finn and Deacon, though, continue to maintain that Sheila has improved? Additionally, Will's behavior will worsen before improving. Electra will be more conflicted than she has ever been as a result. Melissa Dillon will undoubtedly pursue the man she wants once more. The rest of the Forresters will despise Will even more as a result of Eric's injury. Keep an eye out since RJ will probably make it seem intentional. For some time now, spoilers for this summer's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful have hinted to an unexpected marriage. Bill and Katie Spencer, Liam Spencer and Hope Logan, and Carter Walton and Daphne Rose have all previously exchanged vows this year. However, there are rumors circulating around the soap opera that another surprise wedding is scheduled for this fall. Here's what's upcoming on Bold and Beautiful. Continue reading for all the details. A startling development about Deacon Sharp and Sheila Carter's divorce occurred last week on The Bold and the Beautiful. In a startling move, Deacon's ex-wife abruptly signed their divorce papers. This implies that the proprietor of the Il Giardino restaurant is once more a free agent. Will he ask his therapist to marry him? Deacon is eager to start a life with Taylor Hayes because he is completely smitten with her. B&B spoilers indicate that Deacon and Taylor will start talking about getting married shortly after the divorce papers are completed. Naturally, Steffi Forrester would stop at nothing to ruin her mother's wedding. Steffi will attempt to alert her mother that everything appears too wonderful to be true when Deacon and Taylor begin preparing for their wedding. Will the joyful couple discover that Sheila Carter's divorce documents have a problem when they go to obtain a marriage license? In an attempt to convince Steffi Forrester that she had mended her ways and get a playdate with her grandson Hayes, Sheila signed the divorce papers. Steffi might lose it and pursue Taylor if she doesn't change her mind about her Sheila prohibition. Will Deacon and Taylor attempt to arrange a wedding this summer, in your opinion? Will Sheila or Steffi ruin their idos? In the fight between Will and RJ, Eric becomes collateral damage. The Forresters responded with their own fashion show after Logan stole the spotlight with Hope's debut. Press coverage of Eric's couture line's runway debut is extensive. Eric is questioned by a reporter about Logan being their rival. Logan is attempting to steal the show. It's theft, says Eric. Hope, Katie, Bill, Will, and Logan watch the interview across town, and it goes without saying that they are unhappy. Will adds, he can't talk about my mother that way. Because of Elektra, Eric is already on Will's bad side, and Will is upset that Eric attacked his family. Katie attempts to defuse the escalating conflict between the Spencers and Forresters. She goes to the Forrester mansion to speak with Ridge, Eric, and Donna Brooke. However, things don't go according to plan. Brooke rejects her sister's offer of reconciliation and holds Katie accountable for everything that has transpired. Brooke cries at Katie, "You wanted this war." As she apologizes to Eric, Katie breaks down in tears due to the agony caused by the rivalry. "I sincerely apologize," Katie says. However, it's likely that Eric and the other Forresters won't accept her apologies. It appears that the family conflict will persist since Katie's ceasefire is not going to end. And the situation is going to worsen. Elektra encounters Will in the bikini bar in spite of her family's insistence that she avoid him. But when Eric and RJ, Brian Nicoletti, arrive, their rendezvous is cut short. Eric tells Will that Elektra isn't going anywhere with him as he tries to leave with her. Will says, "Eric, the hell with it, old man, I'll do what I want." RJ swiftly steps in to defend his grandfather after Will calls Eric an old man. Eric intervenes to break up a fight between RJ and Will, but he may come to regret it. It appears that Will unintentionally punched Eric during the altercation. Will look horrible if Eric is hit, and he might lose Elektra permanently. Did RJ get what he was due at last? Although nobody wants to witness a violent conclusion, someone has definitely gone too far in this situation. We are obviously referring to RJ Forrester from The Bold and the Beautiful after he was severely beaten by Will Spencer. Many viewers of The Bold and the Beautiful pointed out that RJ was the one who entered Will's home without permission and then insisted that Elektra Forrester accompany him. That would obviously irritate anyone, but did RJ truly believe he had the right to enter Will's home in that manner? Fans of The Bold and the Beautiful undoubtedly have a lot to say on social media about the direction this plot is taking. Some even said, "I was cheering Will on LOL," in their comments. He is far more capable than Elektra, her incessant complaining and victimization is simply too much. However, Will's belief that Elektra is worth fighting for is the worst aspect of his character, not the fact that he keeps hitting RJ. "I do not blame Will at all," wrote a different show critic. "RJ is a self-righteous guy who I detest." Considering that this is coming from the same people who years ago wanted Liam to sock Thomas in public in Rome or mollywop him upside the head when he saw him with the mannequin, I'm surprised to find a non-zero amount of people disagree on this. "Will is not picking fights, but he is finishing them," was another comment. RJ wouldn't have been able to enter if people had just locked their stupid doors, Nepa baby. Fans will, of course, just need to tune in every single day to find out what happens next. In the interim, please share your ideas with us in the space provided for comments below. When Finn starts advocating for Sheila, Steffi freaks out, and will lose his interest in bikinis. Eric presses Elektra to tell Will to leave the Forrester mansion. Elektra gives in and orders Will to leave. Eric warns him not to return. How dramatic. When Elektra is by herself, Eric informs her that this is for her own benefit, as if she were a teenager. Elektra believes Will is the one, and she loves him. He's not the one, according to Eric. Oi. Elektra turns around and informs Eric that her main priorities will be her family and firm. Dylan is urged to lock it down with Will Spencer by the hostess at Bikini. Will arrives and pouts on a couch. He's attractive, the girls in the pub say. Dylan approaches after noticing the melancholy and surmises that Elektra shot him down once more. All he wants is some drink and some privacy. The hostess warns Dylan after a blonde approaches Will. The girl names Will Captain Cranky when he shoots her down, and she takes off. Dylan continues to be prodded by the hostess. Will decides he should go after Dylan tries again. She begs him to let it all out by talking to her. Will reveals that because he is a Spencer and Elektra is a Forrester, Eric forced him to leave and he is not permitted to return. He pouts that it's awful while cracking jokes about Romeo and Juliet. Dylan notes that neither he nor their relationship were protected by Elektra. Naturally without a shirt, Finn answers a call from Sheila at the Cliff home asking if he has spoken to Steffi yet. She will return home soon, he moans. He disconnects as Steffi walks in. He wants to get into it as soon as she takes off her trench coat, but Steffi informs him of Daphne's diagnosis. Sheila moons over a picture of herself and Deacon in a room. She lost her spouse and is unable to lose Finn. She groans, "I just want to be a part of this," as she pulls up a picture of Finn and his family. A member of my family. Not at all frightening. Steffi feels sorry for Daphne back at the Cliff house. Finn observes that although she couldn't conceive with her own eggs, she may still become a mother. Or adopt. He was fortunate not to grow up with Sheila, Steffi observes. Finn seizes the opportunity to explain that Sheila visited him and asked to join them. He reminds the terrified Steffi that it was difficult for her to sign the divorce papers. He believes it's time to think about letting Sheila into their lives. Steffi falters. Steffi is aware of Finn's temptation, but she maintains that Sheila is using him in order to pursue their kids. She is pursuing their family. All of this is a means to a goal. You must not permit that. Tell me you understand, please. Steffi is telling Finn at the Cliff home that he can't even consider allowing that lady into their lives. It's too risky. It's not secure. She has changed since she married Deacon, as Finn can see. Steffi claims that Deacon is no longer able to control her. She is a loose cannon. Finn claims that she desires for him and Hayes to be in her life. Steffi hurls herself into his arms and warns that they can't let her in at all. For the 100th time, Eric explains to Elektra in the Forrester home that he is merely defending her. For the remainder of her life, she must keep Will out of her life. Elektra gives a nod.